What's up, everybody? Today I want to talk about being 35, single with no kids, and how the world has changed and what my beliefs are as far as marriage and stuff like that goes. So I'll just jump right into it. I've been single for probably about 5 years, 5.5 years from my serious last relationship. And, I've had, on and off relationships with women here and there, but nothing too serious. And I think the world definitely has changed since the virus, but I think we time skipped 2 years and it exacerbated everything and just made things 10 times, 20 times worse than what they were. I'll start with my experience as a younger man. It just seemed like before that time skip from 2020, people in general, especially women, actually wanted to date for long term. So long term commitment, relationships were longer, and it looked like people were dating to marry, especially women. Fast forward to now, that's not the case. So that is something that I definitely think the younger guys have missed uh, pre 2020 was they don't get to experience that relationship, especially the long ones with women before the social media really blew up. So that was something that I was definitely blessed with, was being able to share those experiences, because especially some young men may not ever get to experience those, especially after 2020. It's just gotten worse, and I've seen both sides of this now. Being in my 30s, being able to experience that side before everything ramped up was definitely something that helped me out now, to be able to compare, what things were then to what they are now. And for something that the older guys don't know, or they don't necessarily see because they already have relationships or they've been divorced, so they just don't care, whatever their older guys have definitely been going through. They don't necessarily see that with the younger generation. I know a lot of them will, be curious as to why some of the younger guys don't have, um, girlfriends or wives or anything. But I'll just use myself for example. I'm in my mid 30s and I don't have that. I don't have any kids and I don't have a girlfriend. Um, it's just things have changed and you have to adapt to the times and what they are. You put in effort if effort is given, and not the other way around. And you don't try to do too much. And if you do, you can get used and you can get burned for it. So you just have to, you know, you hope for the best, but you kind of expect the worst and just go from there. Not to have a defeatist mentality or anything. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying not to try, but you got to know the difference from the good and the bad. And you got to go from there. You got to be able to see the good from the bad. And that only comes with experience. And I know a lot of men lack that, but there's only one way to gain experience, and that's to do it. But it is tough to do it now, especially out in the real world, when it's always better to attract than chase, because at least you know what you're getting yourself into. But anyways, let's go to my thoughts on where I think things are going, especially with marriage, with the marriage rates, going in the toilet, and with that, nobody having kids, the birth rates are going in the toilet too. And me personally, I don't think anybody's gonna really be getting married unless they change these marriage laws, because I don't see the point in working my entire life just to have my stuff taken if, you know, a chick wants to just take off. When they have a fleeting feeling, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't believe in that. Do I believe in marriage? Yeah, I think for a strong family structure and to raise children, that is the best foundation is to have a good, solid marriage. But do I believe in divorce? No, I don't believe in divorce. But what comes with marriage? That's divorce. So kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right there. So personally, signing that that contract with the state, with the government, I'm not, I'm not interested in giving all the power to, you know, a woman who can pretty much leave whenever they want. I've had friends and other, people I've known who've gotten absolutely devastated from it and been in terrible situations with their kids, and I just don't see the point of it anymore unless they absolutely change the laws. So that's my point on that is unless they're going to change it, I truly think they're going to just go in the toilet and the federal government is going to freak out until they do something about it because I'm not changing my mind. The guys I know, they're not changing their mind. And some of the guys I know have already been in situations where they've been divorced or something like that, and they're not going to go back. They're not doing that shit. What would be the point in doing that? You know, I just don't think that this is going to get any better until major things are changed. But, anyways, let's go to the older guys. I know there's some older men who have absolutely been in great marriages and some that have absolutely been in terrible ones because I've seen both sides of those. And I think a lot of those older guys, probably like maybe 50s and up, have gotten kind of lost with themselves in those relationships. They don't really see what's going on out here with these ones. So that's also another big thing that I think that's going on. There's a lot of judgment from the older generations to the younger ones when they don't really know what's going on out here. Social media, dating apps, everything like that. You just don't understand how things are, and you don't really see it from a younger man's point of view on what's really going on out here. Because trust me, yeah, it is. Everything is like fast now. Everything is so fast paced, and you just have to be willing to accept when things move along and roll with the tide. So, being 35 with no kids, no girlfriend, you kind of just have to set your own bar as high as you can and try to, better yourself. At least that's what I'm doing. Gym, reading, work. I'm trying to just do what I can to be the best man possible because, what else am I going to do? I'm not one to just give up and stop movement because I don't think that helps either. I think that's just going to hinder you. That's going to exacerbate the problem, and then you won't even be able to attract anybody if you wanted to. So I definitely think that, you know, having goals and accomplishing them is going to be a big part of your life as a single man. And if you're not willing to take those steps, then you're just going to be lost. And nobody wants that. And it takes time if you are lost to find a path. But you can do it. You can do it. You know, this is probably the most sound I've ever been in my life as far as like different aspects of gym, career, money, but it's probably the hardest competition maybe ever right now. Well, at least that I've experienced, definitely. So I'm just trying to lock in as best as I can and be the best man I can. I think that's the only thing we can do, because you can't make anybody stay, even if you want, even if you want them to, they won't. So you got to be willing to understand that you got to have enough power and leverage to, take your own actions and make a path going forward without a woman or a girlfriend or children, anything like that. You still have to have goals, have fun, and accomplish things. You know, hang out with your friends, hang out with your family, read books, become mentally savvy, try different things, take different risks. You have a huge opportunity as a single man right now to take more risk than ever, because there's a lot of men who can't take those risks. You have to understand that. And you have to open your mind and look forward and do the things that maybe somebody else doesn't think they can, because you have an unlimited amount of time to do those things, because there's no distractions. You have no distractions. So if things continue to get worse, at least you're progressing forward. Because truly and honestly, you have to be able to attract those people into your life anyways. Women are attracted to success. Women are attracted to winners, not losers, winners. So be the winner. That's what we can do. And that's what we can focus on when we're single. Now, I'm not saying everything's going to work out in the future. That I don't know. Who knows that? I can't say that. Shoot, I've lost plenty of times in relationships and dating, but I've grown from it and I'm a better man for it. So it just seems like that's a big proponent now. You can waste a lot of time as a single man, and I have done that before too. You can get caught up on doing a lot of things that are not productive, that are going to hinder you in your growth. But you have a prime opportunity to really do things that you want to do, because there is absolutely nobody holding you back, but it's just all here. It's yourself. You're going to be the only one that holds you back. You don't have any other responsibilities to a woman, a girlfriend, a wife, to kids, to say, hey, these are the priorities that come first. No, your priorities are going to come first always. And you got to make time to do those. If you want to read the book, read the book. If you want to take the trip, take the trip. If you want to see the friend, see the friend, the family, the family. Do it. There's nothing holding you back. So that is a positive that comes out of that. You have a chance to take a lot of risk that a lot of men cannot take. And your mentality is going to separate the winners from the losers for sure. And like I said, if women is something that you want one day and you want a steady one or a decent one, well, you know what you have to do. You're going to have to put in the work, and you're going to have to be a winner, because that loser ain't going to get shit. So you got to really sit down, journal, ask yourself the question alone, what do you really want? What do you really want? And write down what you want and go for it. Take the time. Don't get so caught up in the sauce of being single. Oh, I'm so alone. I'm so single. Oh, when am I going to get married? When am I going to have kids? You've got time. You are a man. We are wanted for different things than women. You have to understand that. Status, money, power, and dang, I mean, we even get better when we get good looking. We get better looking when we get older. You take care of yourself, yes, you will get better looking. Trust me, I'm better looking now than I was when I was younger. We are wanted from different things than women are. You have to understand that. Use that knowledge and grow from it. Use it as your motivation to put the best foot forward. I mean, we have to. Now, I'm not saying to totally shun everybody and just be alone for the rest of your life. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying really ask yourself what you want and just strive for it. Just go for it. Single, no kids, no wife, no girlfriend. Nobody say anything to you. You have got the world at your fingertips. And the only thing that's going to hold you back is yourself. Anyways, it's just something that's been on my mind lately that I wanted to talk about. If you like the video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.